Hello and welcome to this restorative yoga practice. My name is Kim and today we'll be going through a practice that is perfect for menstruation. This is a time for relaxation, rest and renewal, and restorative yoga is a deeply nourishing practice which is perfect for this time. So to begin today, we're going to take a bit of time to get ourselves prepared and settle in. If you haven't taken a restorative class before, we actually use a lot of props. And so I've specifically designed this class to use props that are commonly found around the home. So hopefully you have many of the items. I will go ahead and show you what I have prepared. So for this practice, you'll need at the very least one bolster. But if you don't have a bolster, no worries. I have a homemade version to show you. So this bolster that I've made is, as you can see, it's just a thick blanket that is rolled up and I've put inside a pillowcase. So you're going to need at least one of these. The other things I have prepared and behind me is I have just a regular pillow. I have 2 towels, but blankets work well also. This one is actually a bath mat, which is really plush, so I really like this one. I also have a scarf or a shawl, which you may like to use throughout the practice, and I'll show you how. And I also have a thicker blanket. This can be really nurturing and comforting to wrap yourself in a blanket when we settle into the postures. The other things I have on hand, we're not done yet, is I have a heat pack. You can use a hot water bottle as well, so you might like to take the time to heat that up. I have some other smaller pillows here, which are perfect for your head. I'll show you how to use these, so you might want a few of these. In restorative yoga, and when you're using props at home, truly anything can be a prop. So anything that you think might be able to give you some height, bring you comfort and offer you support is perfect. So a perfect example is I have my Jigglypuff here, and I really like to use this when I'm creating height because she's very squishy and I can use her in a lot of ways. So go ahead and collect a range of things. We're going to be building multiple nests and setting ourselves up for deep nourishment. The other thing I want to mention is that restorative yoga is, unlike other forms of yoga, is not necessarily about sensation or deep stretching. Restorative yoga is about being deeply held, feeling deeply supported, and surrendering into the postures. So you have this sense of being able to truly let go, which is going to allow your nervous system to relax and regulate, which is what we're going for today. Some other tips that I have for you that might help you feel fully relaxed is to make sure you're wearing something that is loose and comfortable. So an example of that is loose clothing, or you might like to let your hair out if you have it tied up. And the other thing I recommend is warm, cozy socks, because warm feet means a warm room space, which is what we're going for during menstruation. So to begin, we're going to settle into our practice with a guided breath work and visualization. So you might like to sit on a pillow, which will bring you more comfort. And find a comfortable seated position. And just close down the eyes. If closing down the eyes feels uncomfortable for you, you might like to have your eyes 9/10 shut and just find a soft point to focus your gaze. Let the earth beneath you hold you completely. And if it feels safe for you, you can place one hand over your heart and one hand over your womb space. Alternatively, you might like to place the palms of your hands on your knees, facing down for grounding. And just begin to notice your breath. There's nothing that you need to change or force, just simply observe. Your body is wise and it's moving through its natural rhythm of release and renewal. So just take a moment to thank yourself for being here right now. And over the next however many minutes we're here in this practice, allow yourself to receive this deep rest, this nourishment, and this healing that's already available within you. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale with a gentle sigh through the mouth. And we'll do 2 more just like that. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth with a deep sigh. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling. Now soften into your natural breath. And as you inhale, feel your belly rise, expanding gently. And as you exhale, allow your body to settle, releasing any tension and any effort. And now as you continue breathing, I invite you to bring your attention to your womb space, the deep, wise center within you. This is a space of both holding and releasing. A space of cycles, of new beginnings and endings. Menstruation is a time of shedding, not just physically, but also energetically. Using your mind's eye, now imagine that within your womb space there is a gentle river flowing. It's warm, it's steady, and it's ancient. This is the river of renewal. It carries away what is no longer needed. You're not losing anything that you need. You're just simply making space. Space for rest, new energy, space for your dreams, your manifestations, and whatever it is that is meant to come next. Inhale deeply, and with every exhale, anything that does not serve you is carried away by the river's gentle current, released downstream and released with ease. This is the gift of the menstrual phase. Each cycle, you're given the opportunity to return here, to release what is heavy and make space for something new. Inhale deeply, and on your exhale, let the last weight, the last lingering thought float away into the currents to be shed. Continue breathing into the space where renewal begins and ask yourself, What do I wish to invite in? The law of vacuum tells us that there is no empty space. When one thing is removed, another must take its place. So what intention do you wish to set? What dream do you have? And what do you want to cultivate more of? Hold this intention gently as a seed, allowing it to settle within you. And allow this intention to anchor you throughout this practice. Slowly bringing your awareness back to your body. Maybe start wiggling the fingers and toes. And we'll begin to prepare for our first posture. So the first posture we'll be moving into is a supported child's pose. So we're going to begin by taking one of the towels or blankets, perhaps the softest one that you have, and we're going to fold it and place it in the center of the mat. From here, we're going to take one of the bolsters, or you may like to use a pillow, anything that is a good height to support your hips, and we're just going to take a seat on top of it. We're then going to grab another bolster and place it along the mat, and what we're going to do is create an incline with this bolster so we can support ourselves as we lean forward into the child's pose. So how I would like to do this is I'm just going to take a regular pillow and I'm going to place it underneath the bolster. And you might like that height, you can try it out, but I would like to provide a little bit more height. So you can take more pillows or perhaps something else that you have and create more height. The idea is that whatever you create needs to feel supportive and stable. So you need to have the feeling that it's not going anywhere, and this is going to allow your nervous system to deeply rest. The other thing you might like to do is place a pillow between the bolster and your belly to reduce any gap there is. You may also like to place a heat pack if you're experiencing some pain where your womb space is. And then very gently, we're just going to lay down into our first posture, and you can rest your hands on the ground, or you may like to rest your hands at the top and place your forehead on your hands. The choice is yours. You can choose which side you want to rest your head, whether it's the left or the right. It doesn't matter. The choice is yours. We are going to be here for some time, so take your time to make sure you feel truly supported and the posture is just right for you. Bring your awareness back to your breath, taking smooth, even inhales and smooth, even exhales. I'll also give you the option here that you might like to use the heat pack on your back if that is more soothing to you. So you can place that on your lower back. Allow yourself to feel fully supported by the props beneath you. To allow yourself to be exactly as you are. There is nothing to achieve here, nothing to be forced. You can just be. Menstruation is a reminder that rest is a vital part of your cycle, and that sometimes rest and deep nourishment is the most productive thing you can do. Making time to allow yourself to just be exactly as you are is a deep form of self-care and self-love. If you feel your mind wandering, I invite you to return back to observing the quality of your breath. To help soothe the busy mind that often likes to go on tangents, trains of thoughts, going through to-do lists, endlessly busy. And when you catch yourself with these swirling thoughts, return back to the present moment by anchoring yourself in both your intention and your breath. You might like to switch sides with your head if that feels good for you. But just know that if you are comfortable where you are, that it is perfectly safe and perfectly fine to leave your head exactly where it is. In restorative yoga, we are not aiming for symmetry necessarily, but more so the sensation of deep support. So now I invite you to ask yourself if you could become 10% more relaxed. If you could let go just a little bit more, how would that feel? And will you allow yourself to sink deeper into the posture and feel supported by the props beneath you? Very soon we will be moving to our next posture, but we are not in a rush. There's nowhere to rush to. We're going to move as slowly as we need. And I also invite you to linger in this posture a little bit longer if you feel deeply supported here. You can meet me in the next posture whenever you feel ready. We'll take a few more breaths here. And to come out of this posture, you're going to start to push the floor away with your hands. Be careful with your neck here. And very, very slowly, staying in stillness, we're going to walk our hands back. When we get to the top, just take a few deep breaths here. Sending a message to your nervous system that we do not need to rush. There is no urgency and nowhere we need to be other than right here. The next pose I have for you is a Supta Baddha Konasana, or supported butterfly. And so we can keep this setup that we have created here. This is quite a nice height. And you're always welcome to adjust the height as needed using the many different props that you have collected, so you can get creative. So from here, I'm going to remove the bolster from underneath me. This is already placed how it should be. Very gently, I'm just going to turn around to face my back to the bolster. Here, I want to place this second bolster under my knees and the bolster behind me, ensuring there is no gap between my back and the bolster here. With our legs, we're going to have the legs mostly straight with a bend in the knee, the bolster underneath. We're just going to allow our legs to fall open naturally. From here, just bringing the hands to the floor, and we're very gently, very slowly going to lie back onto the bolster. Making sure we feel totally stable and supported. And the arms can gently come out to the side and rest on the floor. Alternatively, you might like to rest your hands on your hips, on your womb space. Try a few different things and see what works for you. You may also like to place a pillow under your arms if that feels good for you. Just taking a few deep breaths here. Feeling your belly expand as you inhale. As you exhale, feeling the belly deflate. And always checking in with the quality of your breath. If it feels comfortable for you in this position, you might even like to take your scarf or your shawl, and you can either place it over your head or just over your eyes. That can feel deeply nourishing. Or you may like to use it as a blanket or a wrap to create a cocoon-like sensation, which can be deeply comforting. You may also like to place a blanket over your body as well to create a nice nurturing cocoon. You really can get creative in restorative yoga, finding what feels nurturing and supportive is the aim of the game. I invite you once more to bring to mind your intention, your dream, your manifestation, or the feeling that you want to cultivate more of. Remembering that when one thing is removed, when we release and we let go, which is the gift of menstruation, when one thing is removed, another is there to take its place. So with mindful intention, we can plant the seeds for what it is that we want to cultivate in our life. And using practices like restorative yoga is going to nurture that tiny seed to take root and grow with you throughout your cycle. As you leave menstruation and enter into your follicular phase, this is a time for growth and new beginnings. So planting the seed of intention now is the seed that you will grow into full bloom in ovulation, and then you can harvest the gifts in the luteal phase or the premenstruum, leading back to menstruation, where we can then revisit the river of renewal and let go of anything that is no longer serving us. The river receives without question or judgment, with ease. As you sink deeper into the props, allowing yourself to be held, notice if there is anywhere that you are holding on, anywhere that you could soften, surrender, or let go just a little bit more. knowing that you are worthy of deep rest, self-care, self-love, and renewal. How does it feel to offer yourself the gift of slowing down and rest? Soon we will be moving into our third posture. Once more, there's no urgency or rush. If you are feeling deeply nourished by this posture, you may linger for as long as you like and meet me in the next posture when you're ready. We'll take a few more breaths here, savoring the last moments. And very slowly, to come out of this posture, we're going to bring our palms to the floor and very slowly support ourselves up into a seated position. Taking a few more gentle breaths here. And from here we can gently remove the bolster from under our legs. And reset for the next posture. So the next posture I have to offer you is a supported side lying fish. So how we're going to set up for this posture is we're going to bring one bolster. We've got the towel or blanket beneath us. We're going to set the bolster in the center. We're also going to take one pillow about a hand's width distance above the bolster, and then you can take the other bolster or a larger pillow and have that resting at the very top of the pillow here. From here, we're going to place our hip crease in line with the bolster so there's no gap. Make sure you have another towel or blanket handy. We're going to place the shoulder in between the pillow and the bolster. The head comes to lie on the pillow. The bottom leg is bent and the top leg is straight. You can place a towel or a pillow between the legs for support, and you can flex the bottom foot. From here, we're going to bring the top arm up and over to rest on the bolster. The bolster underneath us should be directly in your waist, And if this particular posture is feeling uncomfortable in the arm overhead, perhaps it's making your shoulder feel a little bit angry, you can bring that arm to rest alongside your body, or you can bring it in front of you and hug a pillow. Choosing whatever feels most nourishing to you. Remembering that restorative yoga is not about depth or sensation, that we want to feel truly supported in each of these postures. So now bring your attention back to the quality of your breath. Are you feeling restricted in any way? And if you are, making your own adjustments to find a nice, smooth quality in your breath, one that is easeful. With every inhale, feel the expansion of your rib cage, particularly on the long side of your body. And as you exhale, feel yourself completely supported. Noticing anywhere that you might be holding on, anything that does not feel easeful, and making adjustments to fully surrender into this moment and into this posture. Returning to your breath anytime you feel your mind wandering, and anchoring yourself in your intention. Breathe in your intention and allow it to fill your entire body. And allow your body to receive this intention. We're going to be changing sides very shortly, very slowly, with no rush or urgency. So the best way that I can describe to you or show you how to change sides is firstly by bringing that arm down to the side, and the top leg that is straight Just bend that to meet the other leg, holding on to your towel or blanket. And then you're just going to slowly roll onto your back and shimmy on over to the other side to reset. So remembering that we have the shoulder between the bolster and the pillow. Head comes down to reach the pillow. And then just re-straighten that top leg now, flexing the foot at the bottom. And then that arm can come up over the top to rest on the bolster. Or alternatively, again, you can have the arm resting down your side or hugging a pillow in front of you. Trying a few different things and seeing what serves you best. And returning to your breath. Making sure the bolster beneath you is sitting directly in the waist. And if you're finding anything uncomfortable, making adjustments to find comfort and easeful rest. As you lie here in this deep, nourishing rest, feeling a sensation of gratitude throughout your body for being here exactly as you are, for taking this time to connect with the energy of this season of letting go and planting seeds for what's to come. This is a potent act of self-care. Very soon we will be moving into our last resting position, which is Savasana. So enjoying these last moments in this posture. Receiving what you need to receive from this shape, from this moment, and from this time. And take a few final breaths here. And to come out of this posture, we're first going to bring the arm to the side. And then use that top arm to push your palm into the floor. And very, very slowly bring yourself back up and take a few breaths here. Now we'll prepare for Savasana. We're going to take the bolster under our legs, so have that nearby. You may like to use a pillow for the head, or alternatively, for something a little lower, you may like to have just the towel resting under your head. This towel here can remain under your hips. Just placing the bolster beneath the knees and just allowing your legs to gently open naturally. And then just walking your hands back, coming down onto the elbows, and then resting your head on the floor, the pillow, or the towel. Arms coming to rest down by your side, taking up as much space as you need or as you would like. You may like to place your hands on your belly. Again, the option is yours, and making any final adjustments that will help you to fully surrender into this final resting position. And bringing your awareness back to your breath. Here we're going to do a full body scan and solidifying your intention, knowing that the work is already done. It is already on its way to you. We'll start at the feet, and in your mind's eye, imagine a golden, glittering, beautiful and radiant light starting to wash its way through your body, starting at your toes, washing over your ankles. This golden radiant light making its way up your calves, to your knees, moving up through your thighs and to your hips, and then moving through your womb space, feeling this golden glow amplifying even more, nourishing this little seed of intention that you have planted. This golden light moves its way up your belly, into your diaphragm, through your lungs and rib cage, through your chest and sternum, across your collarbones, to your shoulders and down your arms to meet your elbows, your forearms, your wrists, your palms, and to all 10 fingers. From here, this golden radiant light shimmers its way across your throat, the back of your neck, the back of your skull, your jaw, your face, your eyes, your brow, your forehead, and finally the crown of your head. In this golden light, you are nourished, nurtured, protected, and connected with the abundance of the universe. Your intention has been set out and rests in the very capable arms of the universe. Knowing that it is already on its way to you. Rest with this beautiful feeling in your final resting posture. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. If you would like to come out of this posture and finalize your practice, you can start to move your fingers and your toes, maybe bringing some circles to the wrists and the ankles. You might like to take a deep stretch, a big yawn. Whatever it is that feels good for you. You can roll over onto your preferred side. Just take a moment to rest here before we sit to an upright position. And in your own time, when you're ready, pushing the floor away with your palms and bringing yourself to a seat. Taking a few nourishing breaths here. taking one last moment of gratitude, an acknowledgement to yourself for practicing restorative yoga at such a potent time in your cycle, giving yourself the gift of rest and renewal, and setting yourself up for the cycle to come. With my whole heart, I thank you for joining me in this practice today. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.